Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Salon Marketing Live. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for watching, and welcome to our guest today, Brigitte Bench from Cream Solutions. Thank you for being here, Brigitte.
Hey, thank you for having me, Stephanie. I'm very excited to be here with you and your tribe.
Me too. I'm so excited to have you here all the way from near Melbourne, Australia, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you're coming to us from the other side of the world, joining us on Wednesday morning instead of Tuesday evening. And today's topic is so important and so relevant, no matter what kind of beauty business you have. Pay attention, because today Brigitte is going to talk to us about being a high performance beauty business owner and essentially how to set targets, meet them, and make more money in your beauty business by being more productive, by managing your time, and by being smart in how you do and how you run your business. So Brigitte is the expert. This is a totally new topic for me too. So as you guys are watching and learning what Brigitte is sharing, I'm watching and learning with you too. So jump into the comments, say hi, and tell us where you are watching from. And yeah, Brigitte, first of all, can you introduce yourself to those of us who are not familiar with you, where you are, well, you're in Australia, what you do, and how you help beauty business owners?
Okay, so my initial background is from the corporate world. So I was a marketing strategist or a business strategist in advertising industries for about 15 years. And I did really well in there, and I helped large businesses strategize their marketing to high performance. That's pretty much what I did in advertising. However, in advertising, you're talking about a 70-hour week. And so when I had children and I started having children, it wasn't an optimal thing. So I had like a little bit of a midlife crisis and thought, this is not conducive to raising a family.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I want to go into my own business. And my passion has always been skin, has always been skincare. So from a very young age, my European parents, I have French Egyptian parents, brought me up to look after my skin from a young age, like 9. I was using cleansers at 9,
Wow.
right? And children are exactly the same thing. So it's always been a passion of mine. And it was an ideal time to think about, well, how do I convert my passion into my business?
Yeah.
And I decided that I wanted to coach beauty salon owners how to elevate the performance in their businesses. But I thought it was a little bit rude to do that if you yourself haven't owned a business, a salon business. So fancy telling somebody how to run their business when you yourself have never run one. So I remember thinking, how hard can it be? I'm going to open up a salon, make it really successful, and then coach. Well, how hard can it be? I thought a couple of years it would take, and in fact it was well over 10 years.
Wow.
That it took for me to fully understand how to run a very highly profitable and successful beauty salon.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so I started that in 1996. I sold in 2010. So I sold it for a massive paycheck, which is one of the things that I really help salon owners to have that goal. Like, isn't it great that at the end, when you're said and done, it's time to sell, and you get that final paycheck.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Right?
That must be a great feeling.
Rewarding. Yeah, but unfortunately, Stephanie, a lot of salons, pretty much when they're ready to finish, they just close down.
Right.
They don't have an asset. They don't have anything that sells. What they had was a paid job, an owned job. They owned their job in their own business. They were their own boss, but there was nothing to sell. So unless you're prepared to work in a business that you sell, there's no asset left.
Yeah.
Right? So my focus has always been to coach the salon owner who doesn't want to be tied to the cash register and do the treatments all day, every day.
Yeah.
Right? In fact, if somebody wants to be that therapist, I am not the coach for them, right? Because running a successful, high-performance business is pretty much a full-time job.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I did it. I got my massive paycheck, but you need to know that I was in my business full time.
Yeah.
I wasn't working in it, so I wasn't doing the treatments, but I was pretty much working on making other people high performance full time.
Yeah.
So one of the catchphrases that I use with people are, you can be a great therapist producing $5,000 a week. How about I take you off the floor and you produce nothing a week, but I train you to train 5 therapists to make 5,000 a week.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, to train 5 people to produce 5,000 a week, that pretty much is a full-time job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? And it will require that time. But the benefit of that is that you work when you want to, right? And you can work in the middle of the night. You're not tied to the cash register. You're not tied to an appointment book, and you can scale. Therapists who work in their business can't scale.
Yeah.
Right?
So, yeah, I love that. So, essentially, what you're talking about is being able to grow your team, to be able to stop working inside of the business and start working on it, growing your team, and also making sure that you and everybody else that's on your team is high performance. Can you tell us a little bit about what high performance is? Because I know it's a huge part of your business and your philosophy and what you're teaching, but maybe you can tell us a little bit about, okay, high performance, what is it and why is it so important?
Okay, so high performance has to be based on KPIs, so key performance indicators. So in Australia, but I've pretty much transferred it to America as well, we need a beauty therapist to produce $130 an hour. So $130 for every hour that she is employed. So for Australia, we employ full-timers at 38 hours. So that's the equivalent of $4,940 a week.
Okay,
right?
Where does that number 130 come from?
Okay, so it is an algorithm that I have developed that is not just 4 times the wage, but 4 times the wage, including tax, superannuation, and all the benefits, personal leave and holiday leave. It includes covering all of that, 4 times that, plus there's, in addition, to cover a full-time receptionist.
Right.
Because a lot of people expect receptionists to produce a lot of the money, when the truth is what they can produce is minimal, but what they can do is support the therapist to produce more money.
Right.
So what we want to make sure that we do is that we are highly profitable with the expenses that we have, so all of the wages that we have. So a lot of the industry coaches will say that, therapists need to produce 3 times their wage, and that is fine if you want to break even or make a little bit of a profit.
Right, okay.
If you want a lot more and you want a true business that will give you more time freedom, more financial freedom, then you must be looking at 4 times. And so every year I calculate what the wages are, and $130 this year, right? So right now, every year it will change. Sometimes if the wages don't go up too much by the, what we call the award here in Australia, then it stays the same. But every year it goes up. So I teach people to reach a minimum of 130. However, I have salon owners with therapists that are producing in excess of 200 an hour.
Wow.
Right? So think about that. With almost 40 hours, that's about 8,000 a week.
That's awesome.
And you say wow, and it is wow, it's pretty impressive. However, I'm sure that it's what a salon owner, when they went into this massive investment with time and money, what they invested in for. It's all about high performance, and it's all about high profitability. And so many salon owners say things like, I went into business to have more time and more money. And yet the truth is they've never had less time and less money.
Yeah.
And when they owned their own business, right?
Yeah.
So it's about operating at a level that's so much higher, however, with integrity, right? So no pushing, no sales pushing, no operating in any kind of way that people would complain. And so when you round all of this off, so what's the conclusion? How do you sell with integrity? You sell with one focus and one focus only. And that is results.
Yeah.
I'm just going to focus on giving my client results. Because at the end of the day, Stephanie, that's what you and I pay for. When we go to a hairdresser even, it's the result. The condition of the hair, the look of the hair, the look of the cut. When we go to an optometrist, it's the result, the glasses that we get. Do we see better? If we do, we pay the money. If we don't go back.
Yeah.
In beauty therapy, we ask people for a lot of money, right? When you think of a facial that's $150, that is a lot of money. And when we want them to spend $150 6 times over the next 12 weeks, come in every 2 weeks, plus buy a full regime of skincare, that's an excessive amount of money.
Yeah.
So if we want that, then we need to make sure that we give people what they want. And what they want and what they're loyalty and what they're loyal to and what they're prepared to pay for is results and nothing else.
Yeah. So essentially, sorry, go ahead.
The focus of the training is on that.
Yeah.
Right. So the salons that are high performance are booked out 3 to 4 weeks in advance. And if you logically think about that, if a salon is fully booked in advance, they can't possibly be pushy, can they? Because people are coming back voluntarily and happily paying the money. And so marketing and promotion, constantly getting new clients in, what they need is minimally. What they want to use marketing and promotion is to target their existing clients and helping their existing clients. So it's about building a business that you have a lot of client loyalty.
Yeah.
And you don't need to concentrate on new business, because we bring in a lot of new business, and if you don't know how to hold on to it, you lose it.
Yeah.
Then you've got to bring in more new business, and then you lose it. The whole idea is about retention.
Yeah. Wow. So there's so many things that you went through there. I just kind of want to summarize and then ask you a few questions. Before I do that, I just wanted to jump into the comments to say hi to everyone that's watching. So Nicole's here watching from Florida. Liliana's here watching from Napanee. That's actually near me. Hi, Liliana. Anora's here from Scotland. She's got a small home-based salon. Lily's joining from Save the Children UK. Tracy is here from Northern Illinois. Faheen is here. Martine's watching. Martine said the hard part of this is getting the right target customer and getting them booked up to enable this, particularly in a small village or small salon, but it's certainly correct to make a good profit. I want to jump into some of the questions at the end. So guys, if you have any questions while you're watching, jump in, ask the questions, and also let me know in the comments right now, guys. This idea of Brigitte gave the example of $130 an hour, which is high performance, what you should be aiming for in terms of the output that each team member is producing. Have you guys ever, just let me know in the comments, have you guys ever looked at that number before, or a number like that in terms of this is how much I should be producing per hour? Do you set those kind of targets or numbers for yourself, and do you track them? If you don't, that's okay. Bridget's going to give us some suggestions for that today, but I'm just curious. So jump into the comments and let us know. So Brigitte, getting back to what we were talking about, you talked about a few different things. So first of all, you talked about setting that goal. You said $130 is based on, you're in Australia, so you're looking at the average wages, and then you say you multiply that by 4 because you want to take into consideration the costs. You said also if you have someone at the front desk doing administrative work, and then you also need to have that profit margin built in there. And then you also talked about
running costs, plus the big running costs of the business, right? So we need to produce a hell of a lot more than what we pay the therapist to cover everything and profit.
Yes, got it. So if, I'm guessing what happens with a lot of businesses is that you kind of fall into this oh, I feel like I'm never making enough money. I feel like I'm always trying to catch up, etc. And oftentimes I'm guessing it's because business owners just kind of don't look at the real numbers. They just kind of assume oh, I'm charging this much and I should be making this much, but I don't see where all my money is going. I don't see why I'm not more profitable. Yeah.
And that would be because they aren't setting themselves a goal.
Yeah.
Right? Because when we set ourselves a goal to produce 2, that is when you possibly can meet it.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not about the mood that the therapist is in that day, she feels like selling or not. It's about providing the optimal outcome for the client.
Yeah.
Right? Now, at 100, and everybody must set a target. A lot of people say, well, in America, our wages are different. That's what I base it on. Right, to make it nice and easy for me to make the formula simple. Mm-hmm. However, it is relevant worldwide. how much do we want to make a minimum? You can decide for yourself, making sure that at that level, you're making enough profit to take home for yourself, and of course, most importantly, to reinvest into the business.
Yeah.
Right? So we do need to set ourselves a target. If you don't know where you're going, it's going to be much harder to get there.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like setting out on a road trip without a map. I'm going to go on this road trip, and I want to enjoy myself and have a great time, but I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to go. I'm just going to drive. Well, that's a very difficult thing to be profitable if you don't set yourself a target, and most importantly, monitor and track the people that they're meeting it. And if they're not, address it. How can I help her? How can I support her? What does she need to get to that level of reaching her target?
Yeah, I love that. So I want to talk about like setting up this kind of like setting your goals, tracking them, and then meeting them as well. And then before I get there, I just wanted to ask you, you talked a lot about results. So you said essentially it's all about getting results. Why is the result for the client so closely intertwined with this idea of high performance and hitting your goals?
Great question. So think about this. Service industries have to focus on the loyalty of their business, right? You have to focus on bringing people in once and then keeping them coming back. That's what we rely on, because we can't give a result with just the one treatment, right? So if you want your clients to come back and spend more and more money with you, then you have to give them what they want, because the money is what you want, right? You want their money. You want them to be loyal and spend every single month with you. Well, you've then got to give them what they want. And nobody's going to pay you for not giving them what they want. And what they want is results. People want to look younger. They want clearer skin. They want less pigmentation. In other industries like hairdressing, they want great quality hair that doesn't break, hair that looks good. It's different at every level. Now, I focus on skin, by the way, and I focus on the beauty industry, but I think that we can translate that in no matter what service that you're offering.
Yeah.
So it's about meeting the client where they're at. What do they want, right? When we just throw out these treatments and the client pays you good money and they go home and they go, well, I just spent $200. Yeah, I look good today, but 3 days later, nothing's happened.
Yeah.
The chances of them coming back are slim. And so what we want to do is make sure that we meet, why are we doing this in the first place? And we can ask ourselves, why do we buy? Why do we buy from certain people? Why do we go to certain businesses? It's because we get what we want.
Yeah.
When we don't get what we want, we stop buying from them, and then we look elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it's having a full understanding of how am I going to deliver the client exactly what she wants. And that's what we work on. When you work on that, it translates to high performance, because it can't not. If you are giving somebody younger looking skin, right? Somebody wants to look younger for longer, sooner. If you are helping them with that, it's not a quick fix. It's something that they have to adopt for the rest of their lives. So if I'm looking younger all the time, then I'm going to keep investing in whatever it is that you say I need to do.
Yeah.
Right? Clearer skin. A lot of people have acne because of hormonal changes, or it's inherent or genetic or whatever. Just using a product once is not going to cut it. It's for now and for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you've got to build that notion of loyalty to your service and your product.
Yeah, I love
that. And a lot of salons just don't, they get it, because I think everything I'm saying is reasonably logical. Would you agree?
Yeah, of course.
So, they get it, but that's not what they do in their business. And often it's because of the overwhelm. It's because they're so tired, so exhausted, doing the treatments themselves, and they're just, going through the motions, but they're not actually thinking of the long term. And the long term is securing that client forever, or as much as possible.
Yeah. So would you say that so that makes a lot of sense to me, is creating that customer loyalty, having the clients coming back, returning for you, not have to be constantly in search of new clients that you then possibly lose, but focusing on that result gets them coming back. And that's a great way of, like you said, keeping yourself booked out 3 to 4 weeks in advance. Yeah. What else goes into being high performance and reaching that target? I'm guessing it's not just about the result.
It's predominantly about the result, but what leads a therapist to be able to provide that, and it's genuine passion and belief in what she does, right? So a beauty therapist who doesn't have a strong skincare regime at home and doesn't do the treatments herself has such little chance to convince a client to invest in treatments and products. So a lot of people say, Brigitte, help me, help my girls. We need sales training. I don't do sales training. I help people support what they believe in and they love, and advocates of, it's proof what they do works.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, it's not hard for me to at all sell $1,000 worth of products and a couple of $1,000 worth of treatments, because I so believe in what I do, and what I do comes from in here.
Yeah.
It comes from experience. It comes from a belief system. And I practice it every single day.
Yeah.
Right? So for my age, I have really good skin, but I come from a genetic background with really bad aging skin. Right? So I'm going to turn 60 in 2 years. I don't have the skin of a 60-year-old.
Yeah.
And it's not because I'm lucky. It's because of the money and the work and the passion that I put into looking the way that I do. Right?
And
not
you've been doing it since you were 9 years old, too.
Well, absolutely. But the beauty of what's going on now with technology and equipment is that we now are not just looking at slowing down or preventing aging. We are now looking at undoing. Right? We can undo damage. So that person who's highly pigmented or very lined, there's so much that we can do to reverse that without Botox, without fillers, and without plastic surgery.
Yeah.
So going back to the question is, we have to hire the people who really believe in what they do.
Yeah.
Right? Because and very often, Stephanie, therapists go into salons, they can buy their products at half price because they can buy it at wholesale, and they pretty much get most treatments for free. If the therapist is not prepared to pay half price and have free treatments, what are her chances of convincing somebody else to pay full price?
Yeah.
And full price of the treatments, if she can't even believe in that?
Right.
Right? So, I have to say, to one of the best questions, the most important question to ask somebody when you're interviewing them in the job is, tell me about your own personal skincare regime.
Right.
And if they don't deliver one that's remotely strong, then the passion is not there.
Yeah.
And I can train that girl until the cows come home. If she doesn't believe in it, she's never going to get to 130 an hour.
Right.
Or beyond, because the love and the belief system that what she says works, she doesn't believe in it. It's not good enough for herself.
Yeah.
I think that we're grasping at straws. It's hard to find good therapists. I know that. But we can train the people with the right attitude and the right passion. That's easy. Training is easy with the right person. With the wrong person, it's very hard, close to impossible. Right? It's like, I liken it to, putting me up on a stage and getting me to sell cars. I have no knowledge of cars. I could never sell a cheap car, let alone an expensive car.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea, and I don't think about cars all that much. I just drive them. I like them, but I don't know anything about it. So if I was the person who had to sell it, no sales are going to happen, right? Yeah. Because I don't believe in what it is that I'm selling. It's just not that important to me.
Yeah.
People buy your passion.
Yeah. It seems so like simple when you explain it that way, in terms of like being able to hit those targets and make more money in your business. A lot of it comes back to, like you said, like the passion and the results. And it seems like those are like the two main things in terms of they seem almost a little bit like, how can you define that? How can you measure that? But it looks like you can measure it, because once you get people the results, and once you're actually selling to them and providing them that treatment with passion that actually comes from what you enjoy doing and what you love, that actually keeps them coming back. So is that like the main point of being high performance, is essentially just having recurring clients that come in more often and spend more money with you?
Absolutely, because that's the people that you just want to concentrate on.
Yeah.
Right? So so many people, and I know that you teach people Facebook advertising, and that's great, but so many people just want new business to replace lost business.
Right.
Imagine if your Facebook advertising brought in new business and you kept them, and you spent more money to bring in new business and you kept them, and you kept keeping them, and then all of a sudden your business is going from one therapist to two therapists to three, and now we're scaling, right?
Yeah.
We've got more people producing because we're just introducing, a lot of people into the business, and let's say we're retaining 80% of them. If you've got an 80% retention, that's a sound business.
Yeah.
But that's not what's happening. People are focusing on the wrong things. They think that they can just cheapen their treatments. They think it's like, sell a treatment for $150 for $27 and people will come in. Of course they'll come in, but they are the people that generally wouldn't spend on that treatment.
Right.
Oh, it's $27, so I'll do it. The chance of converting them are impossible. So all you're providing is cash flow, but you're not building a business, right? So what we want is for people to concentrate and work on retention and then keep bringing new people into the business. And your growth, instead of being like that, your growth becomes exponential.
I love that. It's so simple when you put it that way. That makes so much sense.
It actually is as simple as it sounds. It's just focus. It's where do I put my focus? And it's not hard. Like a lot of people think it's hard. No, it's not at all hard. The right people, the right product, it is way simpler than people think. But salon owners aren't putting their heads focusing in the right areas, right? If only they did, things would change dramatically.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm just going to jump into the comments here. So Martine says that she does have benchmarks. Jess says, I've never tracked an hourly rate, but definitely a daily goal. Nora says, no, my most expensive treatment is 90 pounds. Martine says, my salon costs are about 28 pounds per hour to keep the lights on. So I just wanted to go back to Jess's comments. She says she doesn't have an hourly rate, but definitely a daily goal. What do you think about different types of goals, or do you think you definitely have to have that hourly goal put in place?
Well, I think it's hourly. I'll tell you what, because you can have a daily goal, and a daily goal really depends on how many therapists have I got on.
Yeah.
Right. So if I've got one therapist, you can have a goal of $1,000. But if I've got two therapists, then $1,000 is not enough.
Yeah.
Then tomorrow you're going to have three therapists on. So if you had 2,000, even 2,000 is not going to be enough. And that's why I'm saying no matter which way you set a goal, if you base it on your hourly productivity expectation, then you'll be able to meet it. And it's going to be real and realistic. A lot of people say, we've got a daily goal of 3,000 a day. And I go, how do you hope to reach that if you've only got 1.5 therapists on that day? Right? How do you plan on that? And yet that same goal on a longer day, more hours, more people, it's easily achieved.
Yeah.
So how I do it is just the basis of setting any goal that you want.
Yeah. And then you can set your weekly goals, your monthly goals, your quarterly goals. Yeah. That's awesome.
Exactly. And mine is a minimum goal. So when I say 130, I say 130 means I'm happy, I'm making good money, I'll keep that therapist. She's a fine producer, but you want to even produce more than that.
Yeah.
Right? And for the person who said, that her treatments, I think she said, was 90 pounds, the whole thing is it's not just about treatments, because treatments, there is a seal. So many, treatments are time-based, and there are so many hours in a day, right? And a therapist cannot do more treatments in the same hours.
Yeah.
So it's all about the retail opportunity. That is where we scale, right? But not just we sell retail because we want to make more money. We sell retail because we want the results.
Yeah.
A client that comes in for, let's say, a microdermabrasion is going to have nice, clear skin for that day. We're going to remove the dead skin. But if she goes home and washes her skin with soap and water, doesn't protect it, and doesn't do anything, then the result will just plummet within a day or two.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like the dentist. We go to the dentist for a big clean twice a year, but every day we brush our teeth and we floss and we do everything that goes with it. That's what maintains it. If we don't do that daily thing when we go to the dentist, it's going to be a massive job, and even then it's not going to last.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
So is there like a certain percentage that you like to aim for of like, say you're making $130 an hour, that's your productivity target. What percentage of that should be retail?
You've got some really fabulous questions there, Stephanie. 50-50.
50-50.
Right now, a lot of people are going to balk at it and go, wow, that's incredible. It's impossible. It is so not, right? Half of the money that you make should have been in retail. If you didn't, you're not providing results. That's all I can guarantee you, because I can do the math, break it all down, that the client won't get the results to the level that she's want to come back. She loves you so much. She loves the results she's getting so much. My salon, when I sold it 9 years, almost 10 years ago, we were at 65-35.
Wow.
65 retail, 35 treatments, and yet we had all therapists fully booked.
Wow.
Right? And that's why we were successful, because a client that came in today, she's already got her next 6 bookings booked up.
Mm-hmm.
It's already well in advance. She knows what's happening. She knows when, and she knows what she needs to use in between.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are going to talk about affordability. People can't afford the skincare. It's so rarely about affordability. It's about results.
Mm-hmm.
And a client, if you don't mind me sort of moving a tangent a little bit.
Let's get into it.
Stephanie, we are exposed to television advertising, blogs that have no idea what they're talking about, magazine ads, of L'Oreal promising the world. They buy it, it doesn't deliver. You can buy this serum, your lines will go, it doesn't deliver. I went to a salon who gave me a treatment and says you're going to look younger, it doesn't, or clear my skin, it doesn't deliver. When people come to you, they are so, they're so sick of hearing all the promises that they don't even believe you, and it's hard to invest. People will invest if skin is a priority. Mm-hmm. If having clearer skin, younger skin, more youthful appearance, if that's a priority, they will invest.
Yeah.
It's just that we've got the media works against us because so many promises have been broken. What we want to do is assure people that their promises aren't going to be broken.
Yeah.
There's many ways. I can go on for another hour about that. but that's our job, right? Because people are despondent at spending so much money in the past and it didn't work, that now you're asking for more.
Yeah.
Right? But the thing is, we've got to have the attitude. I always say to my therapist when I employed them was, our clients, we pretty much can say, hey, Stephanie, stop. This is your last stop. You found us. You want clearer skin? You found us. You are going to be here and forever. Mm-hmm. Right? We're going to help you with, in fact, what you want. And when we give people what they want, money is not the issue. Priority is the issue.
Yeah.
Right? Priority. And as long as we're not, crazy, ridiculous prices of thousands of dollars, we're making good money, people will find the money.
Yep.
Because it's important to them. And I always say to people that Botox and fillers is proof that people have the money, because they just want a quick fix. So they find the hundreds of dollars and the thousands that are required. But the problem with that is because we're fixing a problem, creating a bigger one long term. And that's why I don't believe in it. A lot of salon owners do it, and that's fine. But I'd rather help people from a skincare perspective.
Yeah.
Which is long term and permanent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, awesome. So definitely it's not just about having as many clients come in to do their treatments as possible. It's about, keeping your therapist and keeping your team and yourself obviously booked out, but a huge part of that revenue comes from your retail sales. So it all kind of goes hand in hand with getting them the results. And I know retail sales is something that you could probably also talk about for so long, because there's so much that goes into it. But I kind of wanted to ask you, in terms of the high performance and hitting a target. So you work with beauty therapists and salon owners and their teams. What are usually the issues that you see coming into play of salons that aren't doing that 4 times, what would you call it, like 4 times wages or whatever?
4 times the wages, yeah. I don't want people to harp too much on 4 times the wages. I sort of just want them to trust the amount. Yeah. You can make it lower or you can make it higher, but you've got to target something.
Yeah.
at the end of 6 months or a year, just make sure, okay, well, I targeted at that figure. We made that figure. Am I happy with the profit?
Yeah.
If you're not, then that means your target's too low.
Yeah. Awesome.
Right? So it's all about that. So I don't want to work too much on 4 times because it's just the way I worked out that it helps people across the board in many countries.
Yeah.
Just one way to come. But in terms of people who aren't reaching their targets, what they really need to focus on is the level of training that the therapists have. You know, salon owners are so big on investing in equipment, but not investing in training and knowledge, the skin biology, for example, or product knowledge. And I'm going to give you an example. I'll move it away from beauty therapy into hairdressers. So right now I'm going through menopause. My hair is really dry. Right? I've never had dry hair in my life before, but now it's really dry. It's really upsetting me. My hairdresser is not at all helping me at the level that they need to. Right? Not at all. I've got a colorist and I've got a cutter, a girl and a guy. Neither of them, they're just throwing stuff at me and saying, try this, try that. They need to understand why a menopausal woman has dry hair, which products are ideal, so that when I do go and use that product, something is going to happen.
Yeah.
It's all about the knowledge. It's not about asking people, try this, try that, because we're sick of trying. We're sick of buying, trying, and it doesn't work. It not only wastes money, but it wastes time and get upset. And it negatively positions them in my mind, right? Because I have to tell you right now, I'm on my 8th product probably, or 10th product.
Wow.
So desperately trying to address this dryness problem that I have. So the problem in people not reaching their targets in the beauty industry is the therapist not having the knowledge and had built the case studies in the background of the results that can be achieved.
Yeah.
And that can be easily overcome with the right product training or the right skin training. So let's loop this back to the beginning of the call. It was all about the salon owner finding out who knows what, who doesn't know what, how am I going to train them, who am I going to bring in to train them. That's a full-time job.
Yeah.
Right? So getting into all of those spots that aren't working is a full-time job. And it's worth it because you've got 5 people making the amount of money that you would have made, 5 times what you would have made in the same time. So it's adopting the mindset that for me to be a really successful salon owner, I can't be on the floor 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
If you love what you do, then say, okay, 1 day a week, right? Limit it.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a business owner, an entrepreneur, then you can't be doing treatments.
Yep. You can't just work in your business. You have to work on it as well. So what advice would you give to someone who, I know a lot of people watching are kind of just at the starting stages of their business. So they might work out of a suite. Maybe they have like a home-based salon, that kind of thing. So they're working by themselves. What kind of advice would you give them in terms of setting goals, making goals, and then looking forward to like how they can start growing their business and working on it instead of in it?
Okay, so the most important thing that I'm going to say is the product range that you stock is the most important thing, because none of what I'm saying is going to work if the product that you stock doesn't give results.
Yeah.
Right? Think about it. So if you've got a very plain or mediocre product, you're going to get mediocre results. Clients won't come back and pay for that.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you need to look at is the skincare range or the range of products that you sell.
Yeah.
And the other thing I'm going to add to that, and some people, I'm not going to be very popular with this, is do not stock a range of skincare that you compete with on the internet that's highly discounted, no matter how great the product is. So, Stephanie, 10, 15 years ago, I talked about, I could have recommended 10, 15 skincare ranges for you to stock because nobody was on the internet. Right? And they were effective and they are amazing. Right now, I've got a couple at most because everybody else, although they've got brilliant products, they're on the internet competing with you at 30% off.
Right.
And we can't blame our clients for getting a full prescription from us, all the products they need, and going on the internet and buying at 30% off. I mean, who wouldn't, right? So now we've got this additional problem that we've got to find a skincare range that is not available at a discount. Available on the internet is a fact of life, right? I don't like it, but that's life. Everybody's looking for convenience.
Yeah.
But if you are providing a client with a great treatment program, great advice, and get them so dependent on you and your therapist for the knowledge, they're not going to go and buy it on the internet,
Yeah.
right, at full price. But they can't ignore discounts. So that's the most important advice is look at what you are stocking and go Google, find out, if Strawberry Net has got it or Skincare Store has got it or whatever at 30% off, right? Because you're behind the 8 ball so much. And
it's just going to make your life harder if you're trying to compete with that.
And it makes your therapist's life so much harder because they try so hard, they do all of the right things, everything you trained, and then the client goes and buys it elsewhere. But you keep putting on the pressure on the therapist to sell more or do more or book out more. But her competition is, you can't compete with that. So the most important thing, look at what you're stocking. And that's in any, whether you're skin, whether you're in hair. Look at what it is that you sell, that you promise the results, and make sure that you are just your girls are just competing with themselves. Right? It's all about how good they are.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about how cheap they are.
Yeah, agreed. That's awesome advice. So I just wanted to jump into the comments here real quick. Okay, so Martine had a question. She says, how do you target these customers for the consistent flow of customers, or what is your marketing strategy? So essentially, of having those clients come in consistently, do you have some suggestions for, getting them to rebook and pre-book and just have them come in more often?
Of course I do, Stephanie.
Yes, let's hear it. I love it.
Here's my formula, right? So if you're a skin-based business, and for those of you that are beauty therapists, I'm not telling you drop your beauty treatments. You can keep those, but I want you to place your focus on skin, because skin is where we can scale, because we can sell lots of retail, right? So here is what I believe, that every new client that walks into your business, you need to have the goal, or you need to give the goal to your therapist. That client must come in for a minimum of 2 courses of treatments a year. That means that twice a year they must come in for a course of 6 treatments, usually in the major changes of season, or if they're addressing a particular problem like acne. So minimum 2 courses a year. Minimum monthly maintenance in between. And minimum a full regime of skincare. So it's not selling them a full regime up front in the first visit. You're not going to succeed in that. But getting a client to purchase from the cleanser to the SPF and everything that goes in between, and then, of course, coming back and replacing it as she returns. So getting that client within 3 months on a full regime, and then as she runs out, she replaces. So 2 courses a year, monthly maintenance, full regime of skincare. If you think about that, a client will be coming in every month. We need to have our clients who want skin outcomes in every single month at a minimum and buying their retail from us. Right? And that in itself creates results for a start. That's the way you're going to get results. And of course, results creates loyalty. Loyalty creates referrals. So can you see it just goes round and round and round? And so your marketing strategies will be for new business, it's to bring new business to follow that formula. And for existing business, it's to let people know more of what you offer. Or I'm very pro, and I don't know if you do this, but I'm very pro using Facebook advertising for just giving people information and content to keep that trust factor going the whole time.
Yeah, I love that.
A lot of the money that you spend on advertising is not for the promotion. It's about reading your blog or listening to your podcast or watching your YouTube video, keeping you, the business, top of mind all of the time as a top salon.
Yeah. As the expert, as someone is just like, oh my gosh, like if I have any sort of skin issue, I can just go and watch their videos and I learn so much.
Yeah, and when a girlfriend comes to me and says, I've got lovely skin, then I can tell them where I go. So it's about, and I know you use the words, but it's the KLT factor, the know, like, and trust factor. If you want people to spend good money with you, they have to know who you are, like who you are, most importantly, trust you. So marketing should be focused on keeping the trust alive.
Yeah.
Right? If you keep it alive, the client will spend thousands with you a year and tell about other people. But if you don't, it's so easy to forget about you, right? Because life is noisy, life is busy. We've got a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's all a strategy, Stephanie. It's my most used word in everything that I do. It's all about the strategy.
Yeah.
Right? It's not about the treatment that you're offering, virtually giving away your firstborn. Right? It's not about that. It's about constantly putting you at that point as the authority in the solution that you're looking for.
Yeah. Yes. I love that. And I think like providing that kind of educational content through videos, through email marketing, through any sort of like blog posts, anything like that is so, so, so important. And I think it's something that a lot of people kind of overlook. So Honora says, I'm not sure what I should aim for as I'm a solo therapist. Does working by yourself affect how you set your goals?
No. It should be at least a minimum. So if you're a home therapist and working on your own, you want to be successful, you need to be producing a minimum of 130 an hour. But I do have salon owners, clients of mine, that are working on their own. They are producing, and this is not an exaggeration, between $2 and $250 an hour. Right? Now that's good money.
Good,
now we're talking good money. So you want to scale that way. And again, you can't do that because there's no more hours in the week. You can only do that with retail.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
So you really have to focus on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I have therapists, by the way, salon owners, who are producing $350 an hour.
That's amazing.
Right?
I mean, now that I know that 130 is like a good target to aim for, like 350 is like, oh my gosh, these ladies are superstars.
And this is where your dreams of the kind of money you wanted to make, this is where you reach. And please know that reaching that kind of productivity is not hard. I don't want anybody listening thinking, oh my God, that's not me. It is you. If you're passionate, you believe in what you do, you have the right products, you have the right strategy and mindset, my God, it is so easy. This mindset has transformed so many salons in months. Like for 10 years, they were producing low, and then within 4 to 6 months, they're producing double, triple.
Yeah.
It's just a system. It's a mindset.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Coupled with the right product.
Yeah, with the right products too. Karen says, if they don't buy from the salon, they will buy somewhere else if they're looking to solve a problem. So just to your point before of like, make sure that they're buying from you, make sure that your products are amazing, because they're going to, in one way or another, they're going to find a way to solve their problem. So you want to make sure.
Absolutely. And it's the trust that will keep them with you.
Yeah.
It's the trust that, oh my God, I've listened to Mary and Mary's given me the results. I wouldn't dare go anywhere else because I've done that. I've done that before. Everywhere else didn't work. But every time I present Mary with a problem, she fixes it for me. Mm-hmm. That trust factor.
Yeah, yeah. Sarah asked, how do I get customers to keep coming back? We kind of went through that already about, essentially creating that loyalty, being the expert, keeping yourself top of mind, creating educational content, and giving them the results that they want. So
yeah, basically the answer to that is give them what they want.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they'll pay.
They'll pay for it. I just wanted to shout out to Crystal, who's watching from beautiful New Zealand. Hi, Crystal. Thank you for being here. Honora says, yes, but am I supposed to be aiming at more clients or upping my retail to taking on another therapist? She says, am I supposed to be aiming at more clients or upping my retail to taking on another therapist? So I think she means like if she wants to be able to take on another therapist because she's working by herself, what is a better strategy, bringing in more clients or selling more retail?
Okay, so logically, of course, we're going to need more clients, right? Because we need to book out columns. But you have to first get to a level that you yourself are producing at that level so you can train it into somebody else. Because, very often, Stephanie, people say to me, Brigitte, can you help me? I need new clients. I said, I'm not going to help you get new clients until I first teach you how to hold on to them, right? Yeah. We're not going to work on client acquisition before we work on client retention because what's the point? We're going to bring in more clients, but we don't know how to hold on to them.
Very
and so
good point.
It's this vicious circle. But I would want Honora to work on herself first, knowing she can meet that minimum. She's giving the client the results. They're raving about her, knows that she's got the system and the formula, and then she's in a position to employ somebody else.
Yeah.
Now, of course, employing somebody else is what comes first, the chicken or the egg, the therapist or the appointments. It's when you finally take the risk and say, I'm going to bring somebody in, maybe initially part-time, And then your marketing efforts come in to bring in those new people, working on the strength of the strategy of holding on to them.
Yeah. You don't want to invest in bringing people in if you don't have the strategy in place to keep them there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Martine had a shout out for you about your dry hair problem, Brigitte. So she says you need to treat the scalp first and then the hair. Good nutrition, water, no smoking or lots of alcohol. Medication can have an effect on dry hair. I recommend Intelligent Nutrients Pure Luxe shampoo and conditioner and Intelligent Nutrients hair and scalp treatment oil. This should help.
Is Intelligent Treatments the name of the brand?
Yes. Intelligent Nutrients Pure Luxe shampoo and Intelligent Nutrients hair and scalp treatment.
Okay. I'll look that up. Thank you. I appreciate the
Thank you, Martine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Nora also wanted to know, how do we find that skincare range? Was there a skincare range that you mentioned?
I've got 3 ranges that I absolutely love in terms of results, in terms of the company to work with. They're the 3 that I'm really confident in, and they're not available cheaply on the internet. So Lyra, Lira, that's actually an American brand, is an amazing skincare range. Ultraceuticals, Australian range, amazing skincare. DMK, Danae Montague King, also American, amazing skincare range. These are not, Ultraceuticals is available on the internet at full price. Don't worry about that. That's fine, because you are going to hold people into your salon based on the trust that you develop with them. Okay, So don't worry, because eventually I think the whole world, everybody says they're not going to get on the internet. I think the whole world will. Right? So we have to drop the internet thing. Just don't compete with a range that supplies people who discount heavily. Mm-hmm. So for now, they're my 3. And by the way, I have no affiliation with anybody. So you need to understand that whenever I recommend a range, it's based on what's good for the client, my clients, right? And a great company to work with, and the fact that they're not highly discounted.
Yeah.
So things will change. If you ask me, as I said, a few years ago, I would have given you 10 ranges that you could choose from. I've now eliminated those from my list because they're available on the internet, highly discounted.
Okay.
And the best way to learn is Google it. Google discount the range that you're thinking or the range that you've got, and see who is selling it. And if they're selling it, discount it.
Yeah.
Right? And if they are, you seriously need to look at another range, because you can't compete with ongoing discount. 30% is a lot of money to save.
Yeah.
Right? So no matter how great you are, it's going to be very hard to compete with that.
Mm-hmm.
But you can compete on extraordinary service and extraordinary results.
I love that. And I think that's an amazing place to kind of wrap up this interview. Guys, jump into the comments, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching as a replay, jump into the comments and let us know. Are you feeling inspired about setting these kind of goals, tracking them, and kind of changing how you do business to work on more retaining clients and selling more retail products to them, and essentially giving them, like Brigitte said, giving them what they want, giving them the results that they want? So let us know. Just type yes into the comments if you're feeling inspired, if you're feeling excited, and you're ready to try out some of the things that Brigitte was telling us. I personally learned so
Stephanie,
much.
if you've got any questions, I'll go into your, it's on your Facebook page. I'm more than happy to answer any questions.
Yes, I would love that, guys. If you're watching as a replay, go ahead and type your questions into the comments, and Brigitte will come back and answer them. Brigitte, do you have any kind of parting words or words of wisdom and advice that we haven't had a chance to maybe go through yet so far?
I think it's about the most important thing is about having the right people with the right attitude selling the right product, right? And really and truly believing in what they do. And, look into your own team. If you've got a team of people, how passionate are they really? Mm-hmm. And if they're not, then understand that all the investment that you make in them, in training them, is going to nothing. Because if they don't believe, and it's okay that they don't believe in what you do. It's okay. They don't belong with you, though.
Right.
I'm not saying that everybody should be interested in skin or interested in what you do. I'm just saying if that's what they're going to do, then they should, right? And so really think about, who have I got employed? Also, most importantly, think about your own skincare regime. Right? I have salon owners that come on Zoom like this with me, And then I say, you want me to help you create a more profitable business? And they'll go, yes. And I'll say, I am known for tough love, by the way, Stephanie. I'll say, well, then why aren't you doing what you preach? Because straight away I can tell they're not using the right skincare, they're not having the right, and they say things like, I don't have the time. Well, if you don't have the time, how do you expect your clients who are also working full-time to have the time? That translates. If you don't look like what you sell, and I'm not talking about pretty or makeup, if you don't look like exactly what you sell, then the trust factor is almost impossible to develop.
You've got to walk the talk.
Absolutely, and it's got to show, right? I mean, I once went to a hairdresser and they tried to put me on with the hairdresser who had really straggly hair that hadn't been cut in months. No, that's not going to happen. If she doesn't look at for herself, then why on earth would I trust her with my hair?
Yeah.
Right? So I think that really look into what is it that I'm doing. It's so easy to get lost in the desperation of business is hard. I get that. I empathize with that. I get it. But go deep. Look deep. What do I really need to look at, especially coming into 2020?
Yeah.
What do I need to address in building my business from the inside out, not the outside in?
Yeah. Yes.
Right? What's it going to take?
That's awesome. So, Brigitte, if someone wants to work with you or learn more about what you do, what are you? How can you help them, and how can they get in touch with you?
Okay, so if you go to www.creamsolutions.co, so CREAM solutions.co, that's my website, and there'll be a couple of free resources there. You can get onto my database, and I'm more than happy. You can ask me questions, send me an email, not a problem. Is it okay for me to mention High Performance Therapist?
Yeah, of course. I would love to. Please tell us how you can help them.
Okay, so High Performance Therapist Academy is up. It's actually the landing page about it is on my website, but it's starting on February the 3rd. So It is a 6-week online live coaching program with me where I take you and your therapist through a pretty intensive, I'm going to say intensive program because there's a lot to learn. But I will assure you it's a lot of fun and very rewarding. This is where I've taken people to double their productivity in 6 to 8 weeks.
Wow.
Right? But it is only a few times a year. So the next one coming up is on February the 3rd.
February 3rd. So they can get on the wait list.
No, they can actually go in and book. If you have any questions, you want to chat with me, send me a quick email, and I'm more than happy to do that as well.
Oh, that's amazing. So is this it's called High Performance
Therapist Academy.
Therapist Academy. Is it meant for a specific type of business? Do you have to be a certain point in your business for it to work the best for you?
No. So wherever your girls are, even if you're already at 130, you can take the program to go higher than that. And if you're lower, you want to get it to at least 130 plus. So you don't have to be anybody in specific, and even single owners, people that are sole operators, they will increase their productivity dramatically. Yeah. So what I talk about is how to write a full prescription, diagnose a skin from a business point of view, not from the therapist's point of view, how to upsell, cross-sell, retail, and strategize every single appointment. So it's a system. It's a system of doing business, and this system is the system I use in my own salons, but I've been teaching it for over 10 years.
Yeah, that's amazing. So guys, check out Brigitte, check out Cream Solutions, check out her program. And again, if you have any questions about her program, about what we talked about today, anything, jump into the comments, type them, and Brigitte will get back to you because she's so helpful and she just wants to make sure that you succeed.
Absolutely. And ask me anything. I'm happy. And you don't have to join anything. I'm just more than happy to help you and support you along. Not a problem at all.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Brigitte. It's been so fun, so helpful, and my eyes are open, and I learned so much, and I know that everybody else did too. So thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure, Stephanie. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Okay, guys, so thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, jump to the comments and say hi, and I'll see you again here next week for another episode of Salon Marketing Live. Bye, everyone. Have an amazing rest of your day.
Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.